My name is Jarrad Turner. I am the Director of Warrior Engagement at the Warrior Alliance located in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here today to talk about why did I serve and why do I continue to serve? I began my journey, if you will, at the age of 26, and it started surprisingly, at the Southern Poverty Law Center. You might be wondering, why at the Southern Poverty Law Center? The Southern Poverty Law Center, located in Montgomery, Alabama, their mission, their charge is to fight for civil rights. That was one of the jobs that I took after I graduated from Alabama State University. And I was very fortunate to meet two of my fellow former coworkers. One was a soldier, and the other one was a Marine. But there was something very different about these men, something different about the way they carried themselves, the way they conducted themselves, just the way that they just did everything from the way that they walked, from the way that they talked. It was just something very, very different about them. And that was just so intriguing to me. So I spent a lot of days just having conversations with them. One in particularly, he was an Army Ranger, and he told me about the brotherhood, and he told me about this concept of Rangers leading the way, and he told me about the commitment that you have as a soldier and furthermore as a Ranger. So at the age of 26, I enlisted in the United States Army. Now, um, again, for anybody who's been through the wonderful recruiter, let's just say that the way I got in is not the way that I chose, but at the age of 26, again, in basic training, um, being a little bit older, being in pretty good condition, I kept making a one mistake and having a very, very heavy New York accent at that time. I kept making a one mistake when it came to this one drill sergeant. I kept calling him sir. So on day one, I got dropped for 470 push-ups. If any of you have ever been through basic training, you will understand the amount of pain that I was going through. Just envision every time that drill sergeant called me and I said, sir, and all I heard was drop, drop, drop. So, yeah, it was not the way that I wanted to start. But I was very fortunate. I enlisted in 2000, and you know, it all began there. Understanding, learning, talking, meeting great individuals, meeting great soldiers, having great leadership. But I would have never ever thought about or even imagined that, a few years after that, September 11th would actually take place. Being from Long Island, 9/11 taking place, it really affected me in a way like no other. I had two deployments while I was in the service. My first deployment was actually 15 months long. Um, my second deployment was not that long, roughly around nine, because unfortunately I was injured. And as a result of that injury, I had to take what I like to call the magical flight to Landstuhl, Germany. So after four shoulder surgeries, two elbow surgeries, two dental surgeries, and a piece of shrapnel removed from my head, I was medically retired from the United States Army in 2010. So at that particular time, when I was medically retired, I was looking for what should I be doing? Because here it is, 36 years old, not necessarily in the best shape, but still had a lot of fight in me. And I was trying to understand what I really need to do. Why was I one of the ones to survive? During my time in service, unfortunately, I lost seven brothers in arms to combat related issues, if you will. But from 2010 to 2019, unfortunately, I've actually buried 11 to suicide. Unfortunately, the last two were Specialist Stephen Cruz and Sergeant Raymond Macon. I mention their names because it's very important to understand they, along with my other brothers that have succumbed to suicide, are the reason why I continue to serve. See, service is not just about serving when you're in uniform. It's about taking the attributes and the skills and the knowledge that you have gained while you were in that uniform and to continue to bring that back to your family, your community, as well as our nation. See, combat teaches you a lot of things, but the most major thing that not combat, but my time in the army really taught me is that you are stronger when you come together than you are as an individual. See, leaning on each other and understanding that it is not about you, and understanding that no matter what you've been through, there is somebody who has already been through that and they've already paved that way for you to be successful. They've already paved that way for you to be able to finish your mission. See, just like many who have been injured in combat, I went through my own dark time. I went through my own period of just wondering, why am I still here? Why was I allowed to just have surgeries and still make it? But one day it came to the brothers, to the understanding simply that, hey, I have not earned the right to quit. I haven't. There are so many people that have served our nation. There's so many people that have done so many wonderful things that I didn't earn that right. Whether it's the men and the women who made sacrifices at the Southern Poverty Law Center, whether it's people like my grandparents, whether it's people who just you don't even know, you haven't earned that right to quit. So I continue to serve simply because it's the right thing to do. I continue to serve because that oath that I took when I enlisted in the United States Army, it has no end date. Look it up. There is no end date to your oath. That commitment that I made to my brothers in arms, that commitment has no end date. And the reason that I continue to serve is because, again, I have the ability, I have the skills, I have the knowledge, and I gained all of that from when I was served in the Army. Again, my name is Jarrad Turner. Thank you for your time.